I'm going to talk for a few minutes, is usually how we start these. Welcome, one and all, to our monthly free community healing. It's so good to see all of you, some familiar, friendly faces, and some new names that may or may not be familiar friends. As we're getting started tonight, I just want to welcome you guys. Happy Juneteenth. And we are about to tip into the solstice. So that's also some exciting energy that we're going to talk about tonight. As we're diving in and getting settled, I just want to invite you to get some water or something to drink if you feel like you might want it. We move a lot of energy, even though you'll hopefully mostly be relaxing. We do move a lot of energy during these, so it's nice to have something to drink. If you want to grab some pillows or a light blanket or just find a way to orient yourself so you're going to be comfortable, that's great. Right before we hopped on, I was saying that for those of you that don't love it quiet when you're relaxing or receiving healing, if you want to set up some soft music for yourself, either like through your phone, because you'll be muted here, so you could just have whatever you like there, so you can just feel as relaxy for this little time together that we have. For those of you that are new, we do this every month, and I do a blend of Reiki and psychic energy healing. Reiki is a Japanese system of energy healing that essentially takes that universal life force energy that is all around us and directs it through your physical body, your energetic body, and helps your system heal and balance itself. And then the psychic healing tools are things like chakra clearing and balancing, aura clearing, working on your grounding, working on your timeline. So there's lots of things happening. It's a little different for me every time, but from your side, really the base result we're going for is just relaxation. And then it's different. For some people, it's different every time. That's how it is for me. I know for some of you too, it's different every time when you receive. And you might just drift off into a little dreamlike state. You might even fall asleep. That's okay. You might have nothing happen except relaxation. That's perfectly fine. You might have some warming or tingling, or your mind might drift off somewhere. All of those things are wonderful. Just know that you're receiving an equal amount of healing, no matter what you feel like you're experiencing. So I just like to throw that out there. And I'm so happy to have you guys tonight. It's not just about coming together as a community, but it really is setting up the energy for yourself that you're ready, willing, and able to receive, whether it's coming for healing to receive energy and community and healing, or whether it's something that you're trying to manifest or set up in a more grand way in your life. It's setting up that energy of being willing to receive and being in the flow of what the universe is presenting you with. So well done. You're all already winning. So I'm going to just talk to you guys for just a few minutes about, I usually choose a theme every month when we do these, or something energetic to talk about, and then we'll transition into the healing segment. You'll know that's going to happen because I'll invite you to start resting your eyes closed to go into meditation. I usually guide you guys into a little bit of a meditative space, and then I let you know when I'm going to become quiet. I try to let you know how long the healing's going to be, just so you don't feel lost in time and space. And then I'm quiet for the duration of the healing. And yeah, then I bring you back afterwards, and I usually say a few words in closing. I really try to keep it tight to the hour and have us all the way out by the end of the hour. So that is my intention for us. And really, besides wishing everyone a happy Juneteenth for as long as we get an official holiday of it, I really wanted to focus on the solstice. I sometimes forget that solstice is happening, and it comes to my awareness long after I've scheduled these dates. And that is what is happening today. So as we gather together for this energy healing in this sacred container, we're meeting at like a really powerful threshold on this wheel of the year, which is the solstice. So for those of us in the northern hemisphere, obviously it is the summer solstice, which, as you may know or may not know, this represents the longest day of the year, where the light really stretches itself fully across the sky and as late into our clock as possible. And in the southern hemisphere, of course, it's winter solstice, which is the longest night, where the darkness kind of gently holds us in that energy of stillness. But no matter where we are in the world for this period in time, the solstice is a moment of pause, a moment of reset, a moment of clarity, when something inside us can have this openness, this glimpse to have more clarity than perhaps before. And let's be honest, a lot of us are coming to this solstice moment feeling scattered or stressed or just tired from whatever's happening in our personal lives, whatever's happening in our own communities, and of course, more in the global collective. It's just a lot from every direction. So you might also be feeling drained or just a little bit exhausted. The energy in the collective's been fast moving and mentally very busy. So much being thrown at us, of course, at times overwhelming, almost like we're trying to tend to 1,000 little things at once, sometimes big things at once, without having enough time to pause or breathe or really just come back to center. So some of this comes from the current astrology. I don't dip too much into the astrology, but when it's something significant like this, I like to mention it. Jupiter, which is essentially the planet of growth and expansion, has just moved signs into Gemini. Gemini is an air sign, which is all about our mind and communication and sometimes curiosity. So I would expect lots of ideas to be stirring up insights. Sometimes it feels like an unsettled desire to do more or learn more or change things in our lives. But this mental expansion can sometimes feel really scattered. That's sort of the energy of Gemini, is doing 1,000 things at once. And this energy of Jupiter really wanting to expand our knowledge, expand even the depth, not just expanding in a width and breadth way, but also in the depth of our understanding about ourselves and how we fit into the big picture of things and what we're wanting to explore. So really, sometimes just getting grounded is a big help in this energy. So I kind of want to offer that to you as just something to know in the back of your mind as we continue through this transition period. But tonight, we are coming back together for something simple, something sacred. We are coming back to this garden of our soul. And as you may have also realized, we are about halfway through this 9 universal year. And if you have listened to any of the things I've done this year, you'll probably know that a 9-year really calls us to release what's no longer serving us, to complete old patterns or cycles, to really prepare the space for whatever's coming next for each of us. And just like a gardener knows, before something new is going to bloom, the soil needs to be cleared and often nourished. So tonight, I want to invite you into a new way of seeing yourself, almost this metaphor of gardening the experience of your life. You are deciding what to sow, what to nourish, what to weed out or spend less time on, when to harvest, when to rest. And gardens, of course, like lives, take some planning, and sometimes we need to step back and get the bigger picture view. And this solstice, whether you are feeling bathed in light or tucked into that sacred darkness, we have this moment together to kind of pause and open up or expand within for some understanding around, like, what are you growing right now? What's coming into full bloom in this next phase of your life experience? What maybe no longer fits and needs to be gently removed or pruned back? And what in you is ready to be fully seen in the light at this point? Because in a 9-year, we're really invited to tend to what matters most and gently release what we have lovingly outgrown, not in a big dramatic way, but in a conscious, peaceful, intentional, empowered way. Maybe something you once planted with love just no longer nourishes you and isn't a fit for whatever choices you're making and who you're becoming in this next phase. And that's okay. Gardens change, we change. Maybe something's growing faster than you imagined, and it's time to really celebrate that and decide how you're going to harness that energy. And maybe another part of your garden has been neglected, waiting for a little bit of sunlight or watering or care. So this solstice also invites us to make space for clarity, not just growth, to gently untangle any mental clutter, to kind of pause and release the to-do list, even just for this little bit of time we have. Those spirals of overthinking that we all can fall into, especially right now, and really just have the openness to reconnect with that wisdom of your heart during this time together. I like to think of the solstice as shining a spotlight on this garden that each of us is tending as a soul in this lifetime. And the solstice really asks us what we want to carry forward. What are we willing to lay down or release? And it reminds us that we're co-creators with nature or with Great Spirit or the universe, whatever you like in there. We really do have some power to shape at least our own inner landscape. So tonight, as we get ready to move into meditation, I just want to invite you to kind of gently enter this space with me, starting to already imagine yourself as this gardener, this co-creator. Kind of walk this path of your soul and just notice what's blooming for you in this experience, and maybe even letting yourself become aware of some things that are ready to be released. So just know that you might receive guidance or inspiration or awareness of something as we're working in this healing tonight. You might have awareness bubble up about things that you're needing to look at over the next days or weeks. But just know that you're receiving either way. You don't have to have any answers. You don't need to fix anything or force anything. You just need to be present and willing to receive. And even if you want to receive again on the replay, you can. So just allow yourself to listen with this energetic heart and trust that the light that is within you as a soul already knows exactly what's next. So let's do our solstice meditation healing. As you guys settle in, just invite you to start to gently let your eyes rest closed. If you wanted to start some music for yourself, this is a good time to do that. I'm going to just take a sip of water. And just really let yourself start to comfortably melt into whatever space you're sitting or relaxing into. And as you start to settle all the way in for this little time of healing together, just imagine leaving everything else outside of this moment, just outside those energetic doors. Just putting everything from your day, everything that's going on for you right now, just imagine putting it right outside the door of wherever you are. You can pick it back up later. And with each breath, becoming more and more relaxed, more comfortable, more at ease. Good. And just start to allow all of your attention, all of your awareness to start to move right into the center of your head. Oftentimes, we are so busy throughout our day that we don't even realize we're placing our attention, we're placing our awareness so many different places. So it's nice to just collect all those parts of ourself, inviting all of our focus, all of our awareness to come right back to center. And because you are this divine co-creator, you have the power and the seniority to call back your energy at any time. Good. And just say hello to that auric field, that personal space bubble that surrounds you. And just intend, imagine, allow that bubble to be just about an arm's distance on all sides of you. Good. Continue to breathe. And just start to imagine a beautiful golden light representing the solstice. Start letting that light pour down over you right where you are, wherever you are. And that light holds all the energy of the solstice, all the potential, all the wisdom, any creative inspiration or insights you might need, any cooperative components. And as you let that light wash over you, just continue to breathe and imagine letting that light soak in all the way through your auric field, soaking in to your physical body, really just holding you, helping you, nourishing you in all those parts of yourself as we do this healing together so that you can really just receive anything that's meant for you in this next phase. And as you continue to breathe, just know that as that golden light, that liquid light energy fills your space, anything that's not serving you will either just be consumed and transmuted by that light or will shift right out of your space. Good. And just continue to breathe, continue to relax, and allow your awareness to gently start to be transported so that you imagine yourself standing right at the beginning of a beautiful path. If your mind likes to add extra things, you can create your very own yellow brick road of your own design, or you can just have the simplest of paths. But whatever shows up for you, just imagine your awareness, yourself as a soul, standing right at the edge of this path. And just start to let your awareness meander gently, strolling slowly, comfortably, deeper and deeper down this path. And just notice how you feel comfortable, easy, more relaxed as you go. Notice yourself being supported by the firm ground of this path, feeling almost the anticipation of excitement of where this path might lead. It feels so familiar, even if you're not quite sure where you're going. And as you move further and further and further down this path, it starts to wind around a bend just a little bit. And you stroll feeling such a comfortable temperature in the air. Maybe you hear birds chirping in the distance. The light so golden and perfect. And as you round the bend fully, you start to see that you're actually coming to an overlook. And off to one side is just the most beautiful tree with branches overhead, almost like beautiful flowered awnings. And off one of those branches is just the perfect tree swing. And as you look off this overlook, it's very expansive what you see below. You notice wildflowers, and as you start to get a more clear view of this beautiful expansive land beneath, you realize this is your garden. This is the private garden of your soul. Each segment of this garden represents things that you're tending, still in your awareness, perhaps in your subconscious, perhaps on your timeline going forward for your future. And as we move into this healing, you have a couple of choices. You can either choose to just relax into that tree swing, comfortably viewing your garden from up above, receiving, enjoying. Or perhaps your consciousness will have you meander down towards that garden and really just take an in-depth exploration, a bit of a mind journey into that garden. Or perhaps something else. Maybe you'll fly overhead. Maybe you'll become tiny, like a little ladybug, and explore from that perspective. But even if you choose to just relax and drift off into peaceful comfort, know that you're receiving the healing either way. And I'm going to become quiet, and I'll be healing in your energy for just about 25, almost 30 minutes, and then I'll bring you back. Just allow yourself to relax, to continue to breathe. And should you feel your mind racing or thoughts coming in, just remember that space overlooking your garden, breathing easily, comfortably, and come back to center. And I'm going to become quiet. I'll bring you back in just a little bit. Continue to breathe. As you start to hear the sound of my voice, just again finding your space in that mystical garden of co-creation. And from wherever you are in your garden, let's just start to anchor in. Just imagine starting to create a new grounding cord from that root, that space near your tailbone and your physical body, that base chakra. And just let that grounding cord show up however it does for you. Maybe it looks like thick roots of a tree. Whatever shows up for you is just fine, but just start letting that grounding cord dig through all the layers of the earth in this garden space and continue to dig deep, deep, deep through all of the layers of the earth, anchoring you in. Good. And just give a little energetic tug on that grounding cord, feeling it anchored securely. And just with your awareness, your intention, just imagine drawing up some of that earth energy from this sacred garden space. This energy is filled with not only grounding and support, but nourishment and nurturing, inspiration, creativity. It's fertile ground for whatever you're wanting to create and experience. And drawing up that energy through the soles of your feet, rising up through your ankles and calves, swirling through those knees, and all the way up through those quads and hamstrings, flooding through those hip joints, and letting that energy swirl gently into a figure eight pattern between those pelvic bones or your hip bones. And imagining that highest self, that highest version of you pouring down over you some of the perfect higher self energy for you right now, letting that wash down over you, rolling right down the back of your physical system, down the back of your head, down the back of your neck, between your shoulder blades, behind your heart, letting that energy roll all the way down through that sacrum and the low back, and letting it mix and meet with that earth energy, blending into that figure eight pattern just comfortably. And just intending or inviting those energies to blend in perfect proportion to support you through this growth period going forward. And whatever energy's not in use will just drop right back down that grounding cord, providing more fertilizer for your garden and letting that perfectly blended energy roll right back up the front of your system, all the way up over your torso, over your solar plexus. And as it rises through the rib cage, letting it spread down through your arms, flushing out those arms, forearms, palms, fingertips, really washing out those creative channels, just flooding you with inspiration, creativity, just that reinvigoration, all the way up over your face, and just like a spout right down, right through the top of your crown chakra, washing down over your auric field. Good. And from this garden space, let's just not only take a few breaths to feel that energy run, but let's start to create a big, beautiful, liquid golden sun. And let this be above your entire garden space as well as yourself. And as you start to create this sun, just imagine calling into it energetically all of those qualities that already belong to you as part of your experience, but that you want to strengthen or solidify or just invite more of. Just intend calling in your life force energy, your clarity, your good health, your vitality. Good. Maybe your peace. And with each energetic signature vibration that you're calling in, just imagine golden light filling into that sun, filling it more completely, making it bigger, wider, brighter, almost like a cup filling up. and any other qualities that you want to call in, your abundance, your ability to experience love and joy, your inner calm, maybe just that grounded sense of knowing, whatever it is you want to foster, inspiration, creativity, cooperative components coming forward. Good. And as that sun fills and fills, it starts to brim over, spilling over, raining down just the most wonderful, energetic gold rain over this beautiful garden of co-creation, over you, over your energy, over these next hours, days, and weeks going forward. And just take a few breaths here, maybe witnessing your garden, soaking up all of that energy, and maybe even feeling yourself soak up a little more as well. Good. Just a couple more breaths. And now just allow yourself to start to gently move your awareness back to that path, back to that edge of your garden, knowing you can return here for inspiration or wisdom, healing, or just to relax at any time that you'd like. And just let your awareness start to gently drift back up that path, remembering what your special path looks like. And as you go further and further and further up that path, just gently letting your awareness slip right back into present time and space, slipping right back into your physical body. And with each breath now becoming more and more aware of present time and space, more aware of the light in the space around you, the temperature there, more aware of that physical body. And when you feel ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes, or shrug your shoulders, or start to stretch a bit. And when you feel completely ready, you can gently start to blink your eyes open, coming all the way back to me. Hi guys, I see some eyeballs. Everyone doing okay? Good. Good. Well, I'm just going to give you a little something in closing, and then we'll close out. You guys moved a lot of energy, so make sure you're doing the standard, taking in fluids and hopefully getting some rest after this, and just taking it easy as whatever needs to bubble up to your awareness does. And as you continue to fully return from that mystical co-creation garden, just take a moment to thank yourself, like we were talking about, for showing up, for doing some self-care, for receiving, and for allowing yourself to just accept this healing light to meet you right where you are. And know that whatever you experienced, witnessed, released, or planted tonight will continue to unfold in divine timing. You might receive inspiration about next steps, or something that you're needing to address or release or pay more attention to or less attention to. Just kind of honor whatever nudges show up. You can even make some notes about them if you want. And just imagine kind of carrying the residual energy from this healing like a little bit of sunlight in your pocket. Let it really just remind you in these days and weeks ahead to honor yourself and whatever next steps come up for you. And remember, just like gardens in life, we're always growing and evolving and becoming and changing. So hopefully the solstice is good to you and you feel the expansiveness of this Jupiter energy. I have a little something special coming on Monday for kind of this half-year-ish point that we're at, just some themes and questions to be thinking about as we go through the second half of this 9-year. And I am so grateful for each of you, whether you're here live tonight with me on Juneteenth or whether you are watching on the replay. Well done, and thanks for being part of this community with me. You are all so welcome, and happy solstice. Big hugs. I will send out this recording since there's a recording probably tomorrow, but it might not be till Saturday. So lots of love, big hugs to everyone, and I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.